Instead, I would like to introduce Walt McClure. He is our Director of Communications, and Marlena Diaz, who is the Assistant Director of Communications. And together, the two of them have spent many, many months just utterly absorbed in the redesign of this new website from the ground up. So it is my great delight to be able to introduce them as they introduce the new JCOPE website.
All right, so thanks for tuning in. Thanks for joining us here. This is a project that really, I've been here just shy of 3 years, and I've been involved in this just shy of 3 years. And this particular piece of it, we've spent the better part of the last year, maybe even closer to a year and a half, putting together. The old website, it worked. You could find what you needed to find, but it was time for a refresh and to be able to put some things in maybe a little more logical order than they were, be able to give some things some context that wasn't there previously, and and just put everything together. So Marlena's going to show you, here's basically what our setup was. Intuitive navigation, so you kind of know where you're going. Ethics-oriented topic pages, obviously you guys as ethics officers or general counsel, you're pressed on. We'll get to that in a minute, but kind of show you how we organize that to make it a lot more easy to navigate. We've created a special ethics officer information center, which basically everything that you need as an ethics officer, you can find there. And for the plain language guide handout, the ethics reminders, information about getting your people on, the FDS system, all of that stuff. Train the trainer, all the information that you need to then take to when you train with us, take it back and train your people, that's there as well. A new piece that we've done is with the advisory opinions. Previously, there was somewhat of a search function on the old website. Now we've done it so there is an actual search function. You can search by keywords, and we'll show you. We've also created kind of a list of the keywords that we used when we were, putting the opinions in so that to make them searchable. As well as a filtered search. So you can search by topic, or you could search by a year, or you can search by, if you know it was JCOPE, or was the Ethics Commission, or the Lobby Commission, you can search by that to find the opinion that you're looking for. And we also set it up to give easier access to the publicly available data that we have on our website. To find elected officials' FDS forms, to find lobby data, any of the other pieces of information that we normally would put out there. We just made it a little bit simpler. And this is what this is just a little technical, but it'll help you understand a little bit about what went on. We worked with the WebNY group at ITS, and what they're doing is creating websites, a distribution based on a software program called Drupal, and they're on the 8th version of Drupal now. What this involves is a shared platform. So a lot of state agencies, if your agency hasn't, you may be seeing it coming soon, in the process of migrating existing websites into this new platform to make it easier. What this allows is for the agencies themselves to make edits and to make changes and add things to the site rather than have to, send a ticket to ITS all the time to do it. It's a user-friendly website tool. So again, it allows you to basically, the agencies are essentially building the sites themselves. You get sort of a skeleton from the WebNY people, and then you sort of add the pieces to it. Mobile optimization, this is huge. There really is an ability on mobile devices to see the site, and it really is a lot. I mean, you could do it previously, but now it really looks like a mobile site. It looks almost like an app, and you can, I don't know how many people are going to use mobile devices for this, but you certainly can, and it makes it easier. One of the sort of drawbacks is sort of standardization. By everybody going on this distribution,
there's nobody here, so I can't leave.
it's not like one size fits all, but
I'm
it's kind of
doing it here.
they can make some changes, but for the most part, it is
51841999094 is not available. At the tone, please record your message. When you've finished recording, you may hang up or press 1 for more options. I don't know what's going on.
Hi.
Hi.
We're calling you, but you're not there.
Hi, it's Walt and
Hello?
Marlena.
Hello? Hello?
Who are you trying to reach? You're part of our fantastic ethics forum on the new website.
I was already on it. I don't know who else is.
Somebody dialed the number, and got voicemail, so.
Okay. Well, I'm
So
already on it.
3 minutes of this ethics form that they don't want to get. Sorry. All right. We'll move on to the next piece here. Keep going. So the idea is every agency gets kind of the same set of tools, same tools, and we can sort of control how we set them up, which is what we've done. Certain things we can't do. And these may be things that people, as you're looking at the site, may come up with issues with, but there's some things we can't do anything with. Landing pages, which are what we have the main content areas. So the landing page for sort of every ethics topic, every major function that we do. Navigator pages, which are the things like the ethics topic pages and the ethics officer info center, where you have the table of contents on the left-hand side. And you either scroll down or you can click on that piece of the table of contents to get directly to it. And basic pages, which are essentially the pages that everything's laid out on. Things we can't control: white space. It's set up with the space that's there is the space that's there. The font type, the font size, determined for us. Scrolling for content, it's just the way it goes. There's not really nothing that we can do about that. Image size, same thing. Alignment and justification, it is what it is. So we've worked within the parameters of what we have. So we're going to take you on a brief tour of the website. If you haven't, I mean, imagine most of you have already seen it, but to give you a little more information about what there is and what to work with. So let's go right to the home page. What we did with this page and most of the pages is to build them around the core functions of the agency. So when you scroll down, actually at the very top there, you'll see these couple of buttons. What those are right there are to get to the latest information. We just released our annual report yesterday. If you click on the latest news, it'll take you to the press release. If you clicked on the other button that said annual report, it would take you right to the annual report. And then moving down, so as we said, this is based around our core functions. So these cards are what they're called. If you go and click on any one of these, it will take you to the landing page for that particular area. So obviously this financial disclosure, lobbying, public data, a lot of which is the lobbying data that we have. Advisory opinions, education and training, which you guys will go to a lot. Laws, which you guys will go to a lot. And then directly, if you need to get to our investigations unit, you can get there as well. And as we said, at the very top, we have these main navigation menus. So as opposed to the way the old website was, you can click on each one of these to get to a landing page for each of those topics. Or you can go to the individual tabs below, which you can also reach from the landing page. So on the About page, we kind of set it up with information about us and the things you need to understand about JCOPE. The brief overview of who we are, what we do, what our core functions are, the ability to see what our jurisdiction and authority is over state agencies, and a couple of cards to help you do more. The Resource Center we put together, we thought it was kind of a good idea if you're nosing around, you're not really sure where to go. If you go there, we have created what are called tiles, which are little buttons that you can go to for a particular area you're looking for that will take you directly to that area. This might be helpful for some of your, the people that you're working with, just to help them find the pieces that they're looking for. For instance, the laws. We'll go right to the laws now because obviously that's a big deal. We set this page up to kind of separate each of the individual, the laws that are pertinent, the governing laws, Executive Law 94 and Legislative Law 80, which is the enabling law for the Legislative Ethics Commission. And then we've separated ethics laws and regulations, lobbying laws and regulations, and other commission regulations into separate cards that will take you to what you need to see there. So let's click on, and then down below, the more information about the advisory. And we also published, this is the book. the book that we published over during the fall, you can get to there, and the whole thing is available on here electronically should you choose to read it or should you choose to read certain pieces of it. If you want hard copies at all, we have those too. So let us know. We can get them to you if you need some. Let's go into the ethics laws section and just show you how we've broken this down. This is one of those pages with the table of contents. So you can, again, you can go through this, get right to the area that you want, or scroll through to find it. Go to the laws section, the ethics laws piece. And so each of the individual documents of each of the ethics laws are there. You can go right into that and click on them to get, and they'll pop up when you open it. Maybe slowly, but they'll pop up. They'll be there. So you've got that. So you can get to that stuff very easily.
Or you can download simply by just clicking the download as well. So there's two ways of getting to it.
Exactly. And this lists all that. And what we've done on almost all of these pages, especially these topics pages, at the very bottom, we have contact information. You guys, know to contact everybody, but you certainly can. If you've got a question, you can't remember who you need to call, click on that. It takes you right there. It gives you all the information, gives you the ability to link right away, to send an email, and do what you need to do. Yeah, let's go to advisory opinions now. So this was something that I think we're, I don't want to say especially proud of, but like just the ability to do this to make it easier for everybody to follow stuff. We've split them up into, there is a main advisory opinion page, so we split them up into lobbying and ethics just to make it easy. Click on the view ethics opinions, and you'll see what this does is it will show you, this explains to search the items, and then the keyword terms, why don't you pull it up? This is the list.
Yeah,
you want to
so
go
all
through.
of our advisory opinions have now been tagged. We call them tagged by all of these keywords. So we hope that by making this PDF available to you, it'll kind of facilitate you being able to search exactly the advisory opinion or the context that you're looking for a little bit quicker. We'll explain to you another way of being able to search. But this is a pretty handy search, and it's a really good resource. We kind of broken it up based on major topics. As we all know, post-employment is pretty a large animal when it comes to trying to find exactly what you're looking for. So if you know that you want specifically something regarding bathroom services, we typically recommend that you come here first. Come to the keywords first, print it out if you'd like, have it on your desk as a reference. That way, if you know you're looking for something specific, you can see what terminology we use in order to be able to tag those advisory opinions accordingly for you, and that way it can kind of facilitate that search for you. So it's a pretty good resource in that. But we built the page as, these are called filter pages. You don't have to worry about learning our vernacular. We're just giving you an awareness of what these items are called. So we did the filters in a couple of ways. I do want to say that you can select more than one of these filters. The way that you know that you've selected one of these filters is if this plus sign here has an orange check mark. It means I've selected this. I want to be able to search this way first. So, and then obviously if you want to change your mind on it for any reason, you just click that same one again and it will reset itself for you so you can start from the beginning. The one thing that I will say is don't select more than one entity, meaning either select JCOPE, the Commission on Public Integrity, or the State Ethics Commission. If you're going to select JCOPE and let's say CPI, you're not going to get any results, right? Because the advisory opinions are really written based on which entity really wrote that opinion.
Or if you leave it blank, you'll get everything.
Yeah, so here's the default view that you'll see every single time. So it'll let you know how many overall results they are. And obviously by results, we mean how many advisory opinions are in this particular library, in this ethics opinion library. So there's 347 opinions, right? So again, we try to create very brief descriptions on exactly what you'll find in these advisory opinions. We are limited to a specific character limit, which is again why we encourage you to use those keywords. So let's take one of my favorites. Let's do post-employment restrictions, right? So we have one of our ethics officers, you get a phone call or you get a request, you have something that you need to research regarding post-employment restrictions. Now you have a little bit of a way to kind of narrow down that search. So from post-employment restrictions, we've already narrowed it down to 180 different opinions, right? So let's say that you want to then focus on the 2-year bar, knowing that it's a 2-year bar, not a lifetime bar. So now you have a little bit of more results narrowed down. Now we have 120 results, not great. This is again why we ask you to kind of use that keyword, because if you're in your post-employment and you want to know about a prohibited appearance, you can enter that information into the keyword search and it will narrow it down even more for you. And then to actually view the advisory opinion, you just simply click on that advisory opinion. Anything that's highlighted this nice lightish blue color indicates to you, to the user, it's a hyperlink. It's something that you're able to click and go somewhere else. And again, it gives you a little bit of awareness of what you're looking at in the title. You'll notice that it's lifetime bar, post-employment restrictions, 2-year bar. So this advisory opinion deals with both topics, which is why it came up on that search result. So if you click on the advisory opinion, what we've done here is given you a little bit of a snapshot of what's inside of that advisory opinion. You may be looking for the advisory opinion saying, where's all of the language? It's in here. So what we wanted to do was kind of give you, for every single advisory opinion that we have, all 347, the same context every single time. So we let you know who that issuing agency is. We give you a brief description, what laws are covered, what specific statutes are referenced, and I think you might all like this, is other opinions cited. So if you find a juicy advisory opinion that really relates to your topic of interest, we will provide you with other advisory opinions that you can click on to kind of delve down and figure out, is this more helpful to you? So you can click on any one of these advisory opinions, and it'll even help you drill down even further with providing you with additional opinions that are cited. Now, to view any of the advisory opinion, the actual opinion, and not just this page, all you would need to do is just click on this hyperlink here, the advisory opinion, and then the entire opinion comes up for you. You can either download it or print it or do whatever you need to do with it, or you can download it here using this icon here. And there is also another way of being able to access your advisory opinion. So you can go to the laws page, right, and you can go to your advisory opinions here, or you can go to the ethics page, right, and you go right to the bottom, to advisory opinions. And you can eliminate that second step of having to decide, do I want the lobby opinions or do I want the ethics opinions? So if you know you just want ethics opinions, you want to make it easier on yourself, you can go just right to your ethics main navigation menu and just go straight to advisory opinions, and you kind of bypass that extra step. Okay. I will say that this date function, unfortunately, is not operational. We don't really have any leverage of being able to remove it at this time. So I don't recommend that any of you put any kind of range in there. You want to see advisory opinions, let's say, issued from 2015 to 2018, you'll get false results on those. So if you have any of the keywords that you want to enter, if you want to enter in gifts, for example, you can do that, and then it'll refresh the results for you, and then you can see what you need to say. Okay? Do we have any questions on using the advisory opinion finder so far? I will say that the site is more responsive if you use Google Chrome. It works perfectly fine in Internet Explorer and Firefox, but we've noticed both from this agency and other agencies that are now on the new Drupal 8 distribution that it is more responsive in Google Chrome. So if you can talk to your IT administrators, if you don't have access to Google Chrome, you may want to reach out to them and tell them that, the site is more responsive.
What do you mean by responsive?
Meaning,
you get pages or opinions that show up?
because the website is a mobile responsive site, we all have different computer screens at our workstation. Some of us have the large rectangular screens like myself, and some of you have screens that are similar to a laptop size. Some of you may have a square size. So depending on the size of your screen, you're going to see either more information or less information on your screen. So as an example, if we go to an ethics topic page, we'll dive into this a little bit more, but to answer Keith's question. So in this situation here, based on my screen size and my browser settings, you can see all of the table of content items that are listed on the left-hand side of your screen right now. Now, on other people's computers, the contact JCOPE or informational resources may not appear for you based on your screen size and based on your browser. We've noticed this happen before for other agencies.
Or it depends on how big you've got you're viewing your screen. If you've got it 100%,
right,
it'll work, but if you've got it bigger, you may not get it.
and some people, you know, like to have their screen
Yeah.
pretty large, so as you can see, it kind of drops out those last two.
It doesn't change anything when you scroll through. It's still there. It just may not show up on the table.
It may not show up right away.
And also playing off that, an issue that we found with the ethics advisory opinion search, sometimes in Internet Explorer, it may not work properly. We've had it a couple of times that happen where you go to do a search and the page doesn't change for some reason. And we're working to address that. It doesn't seem to happen in Chrome, or at least not as much, but it's happened a couple of times in Explorer. So just bear that in mind. If you run into an issue with that, please let us know. Feel free to just shoot us an email or something and let us know, just so we can make sure we can continue to address it and make sure that we know that's still an issue.
So unless we have any other specific questions regarding the ethics advisory opinions, we're actually going to move on to something that we are actually really proud of. As Walt mentioned before, a big problem when we were designing the website is that we felt like there wasn't enough context in the website, especially for our state officers and employees. For a lot of you who are ethics officers, you're really the first stop that they go to when they have questions about GIF, or can I do this outside activity, or what is actually honoraria? What does that actually mean? So we wanted to create a centralized area that would actually help you guys, as well as all of our state officers and employees, have a general awareness, regardless of whether or not they're an FDS filer, a policymaker, they're over the threshold. We wanted to make this information really easy to understand for all of our population. So what we did is we created what we call this ethics landing page. So the ethics landing page, and really what a landing page is, it's basically a one-stop shopping. So if you're not really sure what you want to look at within that specific navigation menu, it kind of gives you a general idea of what you can find. It lets you kind of dig down that rabbit hole a little bit. So again, this page just leads you back to the ethics laws if you want to go there for any reason. So what we did was we kind of piggybacked it off of our CETC. For any of you, most of you have all taken our CETC, and when I used to train, the Code of Ethics was my big thing. I love the Code of Ethics. So we kind of made that the top priority, because as anything, conflicts of interest are everything, right? If you think about gifts and outside activity and post-employment, what are we constantly asking? Is it a conflict of interest, right? So we thought that was really the umbrella behind all of these other subject matter areas. So we started there. And then we created these further topics of interest. So, you know, we encourage you to kind of direct your people at your agencies to let them know if they're a little confused or they don't have an awareness of something, lead them to this page. They can get a really great understanding of what the gift rules are. And we really pride ourselves here with training. I mean, Megan, our director of training, is here, and Keith and Kate. We really pride ourselves on plain language. So we really built this page in mind of just giving people a very basic awareness of what the rules are. So we have gifts, honoraria, nepotism. We give you a little bit of a sentence to let you know exactly what those terminology means. Your official activity expense payments, outside activities. I mean, it's the CETC on the cool website, basically. Political activity, post-employment restrictions, and public service announcements. Now, most of these pages are built as those navigator pages, those table of content items. So we'll take a look and explore one of these. We'll go to gifts. Everybody loves gifts, right? So, again, we give you a basic overview of what that definition is. And here we kind of give you that plain language descriptions of what's on there. So you kind of get a lot of information in a small amount of space. So we'll give you a basic overview. We'll let you know who's covered under these gift rules, what is a gift, allowable events, professional functions. So we really help our state employees and officers understand what those mean. These are called call-outs, where you see where nominal value is. It's basically the website version of a footnote. So it can give you a little bit more information or definition without having to put all of that language into an entire web page. So again, in order to access the information, like Walt mentioned, you can either continue to scroll down, or you can click to what you want to know, and it will give you, again, that information that you need. For the majority of all of these pages, I want to say minus the public service, We'll always give you informational resources. So we want to be able to kind of put anything that we have out there that may benefit you based on the subject matter area in one easy to find location. So whether it's a regulation or it's an ethics reminder or possibly a newsletter or a publication that revolves around it, you can always direct your users to come here and they can have more information. And as Walt mentioned, we always end every single one of our pages with a contact card because you may have additional questions. And they all go to our attorney of the day.
Who are standing by waiting for your call.
They are.
Right.
So we won't go through every single one of the pages, but we just wanted to give you an awareness of that this content is here and it does exist for you.
And putting it all in where we didn't really have a place for each of those before, now we do. And we can give it the context that you need to understand and to explain. This is key too. So all of the education and training we put under one place. This is where we get to where I was talking about the info center. But if you just kind of scroll through here, we talk about what the purpose of the education and training is. You know, how obviously our commitment to plain language and what's available, and then also going through the mandated ethics courses and a little bit more about each of those. One thing that we have done that also makes things a little bit easier. Click on CETC. We've given people the opportunity right from this page to enroll in a training course. So they can click on the top here, enroll now, and it pops out a web form that they can fill out and submit, allows people to pick, you know, their agency, also which course you want to take, and kind of an opportunity to schedule which one you want instead of having to guess at when you're doing it. And also, if you're an attorney and want to get CLE credit, you can do that as well. And then just click submit, and it goes to the education inbox. There's also on the very bottom of each web page what's called a footer, where it says enrollment request for training. Takes them to this page as well. Same thing.
I will say that we really wanted to streamline this process because we noticed in training that we were getting a lot of back and forth emails with people not understanding which course they were actually required to take. Were they really required to take the CETC or the ethics seminar? And we were getting situations where someone would ask for a CETC, but they were giving us an ethics seminar date. So we kind of wanted to kind of streamline that process and kind of facilitate that. So that's why we created this online form field. But as a public service announcement to my training folks, I will say that that does not absolve you from being the first resource for training your employees. So we always recommend that when your employees need training, that they come to you first because you can really customize our training. You can really give them what exactly your agency needs are. Some agencies have 0 gift restrictions. We're just training on what the law provides. But you may actually have stricter standards than the law provides. We always really recommend that your filers get trained by you. But again, if they need the resource, it's here for you. If you need us to train your filers, we are here for you. And when it comes to course offerings, we always recommend, especially for your SES filers, I'm just going to do another public service announcement, is to make sure that before you add your new SES filers, please let them know that they are required to take training. It'll alleviate a lot of questions both on your end and on our end. And if they have questions about the training, then you can direct them to this page, and then you can have them read what the CETC is, and it gives them a little bit of awareness as to why they have to take the course. But, you know, we do encourage you guys, so please let them know before you actually click that Submit New Filer button. We'll take you to our Ethics Info Center. We have 2, one for our state officers and employees, and one for our lobbyists and clients, but we'll kind of skip that one. We'll just focus on the Ethics Info Center here.
So this is more for, you know, for your people, not necessarily you guys. We're going to get to the one for you guys after this.
So here we have all of our plain language publications. We encourage you guys to kind of, you know, alert your people that this does exist. We have the Public Officers Law Handbook. That's that big blue book with all of the laws in there. We provide you with all of our ethics reminders. It's all one-stop shopping for us. If they're interested in our newsletters, we also have these listed for you as well. So it's a really good resource. If you know that somebody may be retiring soon, you may want to print out a copy of our new plain language to the post-employment restrictions, or at least alert them that is safe. So you do have some resources to be able to kind of give your state employees. But what we're really excited about is we created a special place for you guys. So we created the Ethics Officer Info Center. And really, it's pretty much anything you need. If you're brand new and you committed to this responsibility and you're really unsure as to what you committed to, we recommend that you come here first. You come here first and give yourself a little bit of awareness of what that is. So the first thing that we started with is responsibilities of the agency ethics officer. So for some of you that already have this, thank you. And for some of you who may not know what this publication is, we kind of outline everything you need to know when it comes to being an ethics officer, what your SDS requirements are, training requirements. Everything you need to know is in one easy location. So again, publications for your employees. The same publications that are available in that Ethics Info Center are here for you as well. Okay. Again, we have our Public Officers Law Handbook and our Plain Language Guide, our ethics reminders, our newsletters. Here, this would benefit a lot of you, is our SDS instructional material. So I know that Kate and Melinda, some who work for SDS, they did a really great ethics forum, I want to say a couple weeks ago, on the SDS system. So any of that documentation, whether it was the PowerPoint or the overview on what the role is with respect to SDS or any SDS-related dates and information, all of that lives for you right here. It's a really great informational resource for each and every one of you. Whether you want to know how to navigate the SDS online filing system, whether you want to know as a filer or whether you want to know what your roles are in terms of an ethics officer, it's all here for you. And for those of you who are SUNY filers, we also have that information since you guys go into a completely separate portal. All of our, and here's the complete form. If you missed it, it's a really great form. It's really helpful because filing season is upon us. So if you need to kind of refresh yourself on that, all of the forms are available for you right here. Okay. So they are run on YouTube, so you may have to ask your administrators for if you don't have access to that. And what we've done here is we've created our Train the Trainer resources. So everything you need to arm yourself to be able to train either the CETC or the ethics seminar is here for you. Whether it's the PowerPoint or whether it's the certificates of completion or whether it's guidance on actually how to train either the CETC or the seminar or even the publication that we always encourage you to hand out, it's all here for you in one-stop shopping. It's a Plain Language Guide. I know many of you have recognized that. So it's all available for you on the website. And Kate did a really great job of giving you really great instructions on how to deliver that training and how to manage record keeping and things of that nature. And it's all here for you, whether it's the Plain Language Guide or the PowerPoint or your trainer notes. And the great thing about this is that you'll always know that you have the most updated version. We are trying to eliminate a lot of our ethics officers and our trainers asking us, is this the right version? If you're unsure, come here. We're always going to have this be the one place where everything is the most updated and the most revised for each of you. So if you're not sure, we're dating all of our materials, so you'll know that you have the most up-to-date version. And again, your certificates of completion, and again, we have the same information if you're choosing to train on the ethics seminar PowerPoint. And again, we've added those dates right for you here. You can either click on here to access it, or you can download it, either way. And we have, again, all of our ethics forums. We have them on our YouTube page, and we have them right here for you. So you don't ever have to leave our website if you choose not to. So all of our topics, whether it's politics in the workplace, or my favorite, conflicts of interest, or gifts, you can arm yourself with that information as well. And again, our contact card. So we hope that we've made this area pretty useful for you. We hope that we're not making it too difficult for you to be able to find what it is that you're looking for, or to be able to direct your employees to other areas of the website where you think they may find value. Any questions on the Ethics Officer Info Center? And based on initial feedback from the first week, I want to say that we actually launched the website, we did receive very consistent feedback regarding one thing. A lot of our ethics officers were a little confused as to how they get to that SDS online filing system. We kind of received that over and over again. And the great thing about having access to Drupal 8 is that me and Walt, we can make changes pretty much on the fly. We have complete content authoring control, which is great for us. So what we've done to kind of facilitate that and based off of your feedback to make the site even better, we put the buttons right up front. So I don't know if either myself or Walt mentioned, but to access any one of these landing pages from the main navigation menu, you just click on the actual word. So if you want to look at the financial disclosure or you want to look at the lobbying landing page, you actually have to click the word lobbying, because if you just scroll down, it's just going to lead you to one of those pages. So to access one of our landing pages, just click on the word. So we've created several ways for you to access the site. We do want to clarify that whether you're a filer or an ethics officer, it's the same system. You're getting in exactly the same way. You can either get in through the system by using your my.ny.gov account, as long as you're not part of the SUNY system. You can access it that way, or you can access it through our website. And whether you are a filer and you are an ethics officer, you're both, it's always going to prompt you, what role are you looking to be? Or do you want to be a filer today, or do you want to be an ethics officer and access training, update your filer records, do your filer certification, all those other functions? So that hasn't changed. So what we did was we eliminated the file online here that we thought was a little bit confusing for some of our ethics officers, and instead now we call it Access the SDS Online Filing System. So if you are a state officer and employee, you go to General Access. Whether you want to file or you want to do your ethics officer functions, you're going to go to the General Access. Now, if you are a SUNY filer or a SUNY ethics officer, you're going to select SUNY Access. That's really the only major change. So again, whether you want to file or you want to perform your ethics officer functions within the SDS Online Filing System, you're just going to go to the same place, General Access. And if you have access to both roles, you will just have to tell the system who you want to be that day, whether you want to be an ethics officer or whether you want to be a filer. So we hope that we've kind of clarified a little bit of that confusion that we first saw early on. And for SDS, you can access it through these two buttons. Again, we also have it again. If you're a state employee or other filer, you would go here. If you are a SUNY employee filer, you would use the other button, and we've provided you guys with a comprehensive set of instructions. Okay, and these instructions are really detailed on how to navigate the SDS online filing. It's not going to teach you how to file your form. It's going to teach you how to navigate within that online filing system. So that's the major distinction. If you need help filing your form, or you want to be able to give your employees some guidance on what they need to do, then you would go to filing information and form. And this transactional button allows you to go straight to that my.ny.gov sign-in as well. So we provided you with some standard information, the filing deadlines, and the salary threshold requirements. And here we hope that we've made it pretty simple, where we've given you the guide on how to file your SDS, a quick reference guide, as well as for those of you who are paper filers, the form as well, and any supplemental information. So we encourage you offline to kind of take a look at that if need be. But do we have any questions on how to access the SDS online filing system if you are an ethics officer or if you're looking to file? Have we hopefully clarified that for you guys? I will say something that's brand new. If you're curious about what we do here at JCOPE, or if there's something that may be of interest to you in Walt's area in the Media Center, we did create an events page. So if you want to know when our upcoming trainings are, or when our new ethics forum, what topic it's going to be on, or if we have any specialized trainings or a new conference coming up, it'll be on our events page. See, here you guys are, ethics forum on website navigation for ethics officers. So we do have a fun little event page for you. We let you know when our next trainings are. If you click on them, it's just going to direct you to the appropriate training page. Okay, so if you want to stay connected and figure out what's going on here at JCOPE, we do encourage you to check out our events page.
And also, if you go back to that, this is another place where reports and publications, so obviously the annual report, but all the newsletters are there, any other, of the book on publications, I think. The book is there, and any of the other, like the handbook, any of the other, publications that we normally would do and that you'd be aware of, which are also on the ethics officer page, but it's another location to find some of that newsletters as well. And not that you may have a need to contact me, but that's there. If you do,
that's how you get
call me, email me. Yes, Megan.
Hi. Do you want to mention the part about if you know what number advisory opinion you're looking for?
Yes, I forgot about that. Good call. So going back to the advisory opinions thing. So as part of that advisory opinion search, in the keyword section, if you know which opinion you're looking for, you can type it in. So let's say 9716. There you go. I think that's one we were trying to find before. Yeah. So what you'll see, so there's 9716. Because in this case, 9716 isn't referenced in anything else, so that's the only one you will get. What you'll find, do 9516, I think. I think so. I think that was the one that we were trying to find before. Okay. What you'll notice when you do this, you do 9516, 9516 will not be the first thing that comes up. It will be the most recent opinion that references 9516, but it will be there. So in this case, thankfully, there's only 3 that you have to scroll through, but there could be 12 or 20 or, whatever, but it will be there. So that makes it a little bit easier for you too. If you know this is what you want, just go right there and you can get to it quicker. Thank you.
Yeah, I'll mention that one other thing. There's one other thing I noticed and mentioned to Marlena and Walt is that I've been doing this a long time. I've been in the ethics business, and so depending on how long you've been doing it, maybe you'll say, oh, I want 0801, the old Gibbs opinion. You might have to, I'm not sure how it's going to show up there. So just little things. So it might either come up 08-1 or it might come up 08-01. So just don't give up. You'll find it eventually.
Because, yeah, what happened with that is there was a stretch of years, and I think a lot of it was during the Ethics Commission time where, since we've been around, it's the year and whatever, unless if it's a single-digit one. The other ones on the documents themselves, it would say 95-4. So in order to be consistent with what the document said, we've updated the system to do it that way. So try it either way. If it doesn't come up the first time, it may come up if you take out the 0.
Mm-hmm. And just quickly, if any of you watch our commission meetings that we typically hold on a monthly basis, it's found in our About page. So if you go to the About Commission meeting, not only can you visit our YouTube page and look at all of our meeting archive, you can also find our old ethics forums there or any trainers that we previously hosted. They're all in that archive, that YouTube page. You can have access to our April agenda the day of the meeting. This will be replaced, and you can actually just go right to the live stream. And if you missed last month's meeting and you want to watch it, it's right here for you. If you want to know more about our commissioners or our meeting guidelines, again, that information is there for you. But we do want to say that the website, it's going to be an ever-changing thing. So after this, if you have any ideas, if you have any feedback for us, we would love to hear from you guys. Let us know what's working for you, even months down the line. If something's not working for you, let us know. Because the advisory opinion finder right now, that's kind of phase 1 for us. So we're kind of allowing all of you to play around with it, figure out if it's working for you. If it's not, then we might go back to the drawing board and figure something else out. But we encourage you to look through our pages, play around in the education, play around in the ethics pages, play around in all of these different areas. And if there's things that are not working for you, give us that feedback. Let us know, because we want to try to improve the site as much as we can. And we'll take all of your feedback into consideration, and we'll try our best to make sure that we accommodate everyone's needs.
As you've seen with adding those buttons for the FDS access, as soon as we heard it, we've made the changes and tried to do it. And we know, obviously, you're used to the old site. It's easy, you know exactly where to find things. This is different, but we do really hope that this is laid out in a way that will make it easier for you to find things and be able to since things are sort of grouped together better now, it'll make it easier. So I think that's it. Oh, we also have, yes, if you, just right there, she was going to, that link right there can immediately go to report misconduct. So if there's an issue with, you want to report a tip or file a complaint, you can go right there. It also gives you some more information about that, our jurisdiction. If it's a complaint that is not related to us, we do have a list of some of the other entities that might help. And also on the top, on the main tab, the investigations, there is an investigations landing page, and which will tell you about everything involving investigations. Also, you can click on view enforcement and get to a list of actions that we've taken, against state employees or lobbyists for, violations of the thing. And we've made this a little bit easier to understand too. We've added some things like now you can see what agency the person worked for, what the violation was, the nature of the violation. So you might just see the law and not think it's gifts, it's failure to file, it's a code of ethics violation, settled, the amount that somebody may have settled for, and the date that we posted it. But with each of these, again, this light blue, you can click on a link and it will take you to, kind of like the advisory opinion, a page for that particular enforcement action, kind of lays it, gives you an overview, and gives you the ability to click on settlement agreement or any other documents that may be related to it that we're able to, to release.
And as a quick stop, if you need to go to our homepage and just click the seal. It's always a quick little shortcut. So if you click our seal, you'll go right to our homepage every single time.
I don't think we have anything else to do with it. So if anybody has any questions, feel free to shoot.
I don't have a question, I just have a comment. You two and whoever else is behind this did a phenomenal job. This is light years ahead. I'm not particularly good.
Thank you.
Brilliant.
Thank you. Thank you. It is us.
It is.
A lot, very much Marlena. But like a lot of what happened with like doing this, because it's time intensive of creating these pages, and the creativity of that is really Marlena. We sat down and kind of plotted out how we wanted to do it, but picking some of the pictures and trying to lay things out and having to figure out which kind of page is the right page for each topic. I mean, we went through, even up to the day before we launched, we were changing things because we realized there was a way we had set it up one way wasn't going to work.
It's really intuitive, and that comes from a man who started his legal practice. We had no computers, and we sat in absolute wonder that pages could come through a fax machine.
Well, good. That means a lot, because that was really something that we were hoping that would be the case, that anybody could go to this and find what they need.
So we did receive a couple of questions. One question is, will JCOPE be giving ethics training on this new website? We will not be giving additional training on the new website. We really thought it was important, as one of our most valued and important stakeholders, that we allow our ethics officers and general counsel to kind of navigate some particular areas of interest specifically for you guys that you may not have been aware of, like the trainer resources, and you can now enroll filers online and things of that nature. So we will not be doing any more additional specialized trainings on the new website. Again, we do encourage you to provide us with feedback. You can do that by emailing the education group at education@jcope.ny.gov. But what we will do is make this available to you in that ethics officer info center. Under that ethics forum, we will provide you with the entire recording of today's ethics forum. So, and again, we're available. You can contact myself or Walt, or Kate can get to us, and Kate is amazing. She knows this website inside and out as well. So if you have specific questions on where to find information, let us know, and that way we can kind of reevaluate. Is it something that is difficult for you guys to find, and kind of readjust that for you?
And if, as Marlena said, because some of you have where your access to YouTube may be blocked by your agency or something, we could send you, just let us know, we can send you the video file, and you can see it yourself.
So we have another question based off of, in the beginning of our presentation, we displayed a page with 2 columns of topics of searchable ethics data. Would you show this again and how to get to it? Of course. So there are 3 ways to get to advisory opinion. Okay. The first way is to go to the Laws main navigation menu and select Advisory Opinion. Now, when you do so, it's going to take you to that page that I'm hoping that you're referencing, which means that you can either select lobbying opinions or ethics opinions. So that is one way of getting to either one. But if you, again, know that you just want to look at ethics opinion, a shortcut is to just go to that ethics main navigation drop-down menu, select advisory opinions, and it'll take you straight to those ethics opinions.
And I think possibly maybe what they may have been, the questioner might be asking is about the keywords, because that appears maybe as two columns.
If you're asking about the keywords,
Yeah.
whether you, no matter which way you go, you're going to get the same information. So if you go to laws, advisory opinions, and select ethics opinions, or you go to ethics advisory opinions, that keyword is right here under the key searching advisory opinions. Those keyword terms, they'll come up as a PDF for you. So you can obviously print or download or do what you need to do there for that. So hopefully that answers your question. If you're looking for the lobby opinions.
Keywords was it. Thank you.
Perfect. No problem. So we're happy to give
The next question, will JCOPE be doing the required live FDS Spyler training on the website? No, we won't, because that is still, the live training is still required. So it won't be something that you could just get by going to the website. You'll still have to do the way we've been doing it.
Right. If you are asking whether we'll be doing, I guess I'm a little unclear as to what specifically you're asking, because those could be two different things. If you're asking whether the CETC or the ethics seminar will be available to be trained over the website, that's a no. It's still, as Walt mentioned, it's still required to be live training. Okay, especially here at JCOPE, we take that really seriously. So we always do our training live. If you're asking if we're going to be doing additional FDS training at this time, no. But again, we do have that FDS ethics forum on how to navigate the system and those, frequently asked questions. Again, that's in your area in the Education Ethics Officer Info Center. And of course, the FDS team is incredibly responsive. So if you have questions or you don't understand certain nuances in the questions, you can always either contact the attorney of the day, or you can go straight to the FDS unit and they can walk you through specifically what we're trying to get you to disclose in those forms. So those are two separate things.
And I would touch on something else that's come up with regard to advisory opinions. On our old site, we had a link to an outside link to New York Law School, the city law website that has a rather robust search function. We didn't include it on this one because we feel that the way we're putting it together now allows you to be able to do it on our website without us having to send you to somebody else. And we'd rather keep you here than have you go somewhere else. But I will say, if anybody wants that or is looking for that, and you lost that link, shoot me an email. I can get it to you.
I'm not sure. We do have a question. Will the other login for FDS filing also work? I will say that if you have any bookmarks on your, either on Internet Explorer or Firefox or Chrome, on any of your internet browsing, if you linked somewhere from our old website, those links aren't going to work anymore. So you're going to have to re-bookmark your little shortcuts from all of your browsers for the new website. But your login credentials, what you use to log into the FDS online filing system, that has not changed. So you still continue to use, your first initial or last name or your email or however you were set up, that hasn't changed. Your username and passwords are yours. We have no control over that. The only thing that we did control is where to find that link or how to access that link, basically. So if you do have bookmarks, then you're going to have to update those because it'll give you an alert that page is no longer found. Okay, so we can't control that, unfortunately, and we chose not to do a redirect because it's really not a great website practice, because eventually you're just kind of putting a Band-Aid on the problem. We want you to kind of update your bookmarks now and not wait to do so. So again, you can access it through that Access FDS online filing system and choose who you are, whether you're general access, meaning all state officers and employees, regardless of your role or title, or your SUNY access. And let's see, who do we contact to receive new filers, New York State Gov IDs, and passwords? Actually, Miley, I will contact you offline. We'll contact you offline, and we'll give you some information on how to do that. you would have to, there's a couple of steps that are involved when you're assigning a new SDS filer. I'm not the best person to answer that, but I'll connect you to the right person that can walk you through that. And will there be a different login for this new JCOPE website going to be available to the ethics officer? The great news is that we launched April 3rd. This is a live demonstration of our current website. So the website is live. You won't be able to access anything from our prior site. That site is completely dead in the water.
And there's no different login because you're still logging into the same FDS system as before.
So again,
that has not changed. FDS system, no change.
So again, you click your general access, you click your sign in, you put your regular username, your password. It's going to ask you if you have, like for me, I have 10 different roles that I can be in on a given day. So it'll ask you, what do you want to do? Some of you have access to SLMS. It might ask you, do you want to go to SLMS? Do you want to open a ticket? Do you want to, it's the same thing. You go to the JCOPE FDS online filing system, you click that button, and it'll take you right there. So that hasn't changed. And Dylan, to answer your question, will you allow assistance or another designee to the system? You're really focusing on the FDS online filing system. Those attributes haven't changed. So if you're an ethics officer, you can assign other ethics officers, as well as you can assign what we call agency contact. When we're offline, I'll have either Kate or Brianna to send you some supplemental information on how to navigate that system and how to designate those people to be able to access or do stuff on your behalf. Will there be a different login for this new JCOPE right now? Will you allow, I did that one. Searching advisor, click on advisor and then what? It says there is a left side filter, but I don't see that.
That's going to be when you get to the actual, if you go the ethics opinions page.
Oh, okay. I'm going to backtrack 1 second.
Okay.
Madeline, to answer your question, you can still access the online ethics orientation from here. My agency does not have access to the SLMS that it's offered on. Okay, well then that's problematic. If your agency does not have access to SLMS, we can't control that. That's something that you have to buy into for your agency. We have no control over that, which is why we typically recommend that if you do not have access to SLMS, that you have your new filers trained within that first 3-month window. Because if you do, they never have to take the online ethics orientation. You don't have to worry about having to have access to something that, frankly, you don't have access to, right? So we really can't mandate it that way. But we do encourage you that if you do not have access and you know that you have a couple of new filers, to train them within that 3-month window. And again, we are not responsible for updating those training records. You know, each and every one of you, all of our ethics officers, our agency contacts, your designees, whoever you have listed in the FDS online filing system that has access to your agency records, you guys are responsible for updating those training records, because if not, your filers will get those training delinquency notices that I think most of us have all become quite familiar with. So to kind of avoid that, make sure that you guys update at least on a monthly basis to kind of keep that system current, because those training delinquency notices go out, I believe, what, Kate, 15th of every month? Generally, 15th of every month. Okay. And for those of you who do have access to the OEO, the Online Ethics Orientation, you go to Course Offerings, and you can scroll down to one of these cards, and then you select Online Ethics Orientation. And this little button here, this blue button says Access. It'll just take you again to that SLMS login. So if you have access, wonderful. You can access it that way. We give you all the information you need to know, who's required. We give you some information about the SLMS system, how to troubleshoot, completion and compliance, and again, how to contact the JCOPE education team. But again, if you don't have access, unfortunately, we can't control that. You guys really need to train your new filers within those first 3 months. And do we have...
There was a question about the ethics opinions.
Which way?
Let's back up, I think. Searching advisory opinions. Okay. So I think what you're talking about, if you click on, we'll take you both ways. If you go in under laws and click on advisory opinions, and it takes you to that landing page, then you go and you want to search in ethics opinions, you're going to click the button that says View Ethics Opinions, which will take you to the Ethics Advisory page, Opinions page, which is also under that Ethics main tab. When you scroll down and you get to the opinions themselves at the bottom of the page, that's where that left-hand menu is going to come up that will allow you to filter those opinions however you want to filter them by, or search in general, or as we've shown you, use the keywords, or in that keyword box, type in the opinion number you're specifically looking for.
And again, if you want a very broad search, you can just click on one of those gray pluses, and that way it doesn't matter whether the opinion, let's say for gifts, was issued by either the former Commission on Public Integrity, the Ethics Commission. You can see all of the results. So if you want a broad search, we recommend that you do not select one of the issuing entities, that you just select one of the topics of interest, let's say, or you can refine it based on what you're looking for. So hopefully that answers that question.
And again, if not, feel free to reach out and we can help you figure out how to do it. Not on your page and you accessed it through Google Chrome. That's troublesome. Okay.
So you're talking that the filter topics of it, Karen, the filter topics of interest, that's what you're not seeing what I'm looking at right now when I'm scrolling down. Do you have, are you able, in Google Chrome, at the top right hand of your screen, there are these three ellipses that go from top to bottom. If you click on it, can you just verify that your zoom is at 100, that you're not viewing this at a larger scale, because sometimes that may be an issue. Yes, it's on 100. Okay, so what we'll do is, if you can just send an email to education at jcope.ny.gov, we'll just reach out to you directly and see if we can figure out what's going on. And
see, you get personalized service now.
And
not that you didn't before. Now you get additional personalized service.
Do we have any additional questions? We have a little bit of time before we wrap up this ethics forum. And if not, again, we encourage you guys to please, if you have questions, feel free, send us some feedback to education@jcope.ny.gov. The education team is great. They'll forward it to us. No, we answered them. How do I find
Oh, that's right, yeah.
How do I use the opinion finder? So those were our two main areas that we really wanted to focus and drill down. So again, if you have ideas or feedback on how we can improve, let us know. We are the content authors. We're happy to make adjustments as needed.
And we did take it as a good sign, like Steve said, that those two questions are really the only questions that we've really gotten so far. Not core craft way. So yeah, so anybody else in the room here have any questions at all too? All right. Well, thanks very much for taking the time to do this. We really appreciate it. And again, any other feedback you can give us, because this really is a living, breathing animal and will continue to change and evolve as time goes by, because now we have a better ability to make it evolve. So thank you very much.
Kick back for a couple of weeks.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah.